and that's a the recording's in progress too. Everything's going. In a moment or two, there are going to be some. I hope there'll be words up on the screen here, and I'm going to invite you to sing along in the chorus of this song. You've heard this before. I've done it before, but we do it again. If you're lost or lonely, come on in. That's all you have to do. If you're lost or lonely, come on in. We've been waiting for you. Doesn't matter where you've been, we're just glad you're here. Come and join our family. You have nothing to fear. If you're lost or lonely, come inside. That's all you have to do. If you're lost and lonely, come inside. We've been waiting for you. No one needs to be alone when all is said and done. We stand with open arms and hearts. It's love that makes us one. If you're lost and lonely, come inside. That's all you have to do. If you're lost or lonely, come inside. We've been waiting for you. Sisters, mothers, dads, and brothers, won't you come inside? Sons and daughters who seek still waters, let love be your guide. Now we do this all together now. If you're lost or lonely, come inside. That's all you have to. Just sang it wrong too, didn't I? If you're lost or lonely, come on in. We've been waiting for you. Let's do it again. If you're lost or lonely, come on in. That's all you have to do. If you're lost or lonely, come on in. We've been waiting for you. Come on in.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity of London. And don't you just love this beautiful slide with all the tulips and the butterflies? So I don't know where you are. Here where I am, the tulips are not up yet, but we're hoping for them soon if the deer don't eat off all the buds. So welcome, everyone. We welcome people that are at 501 Nelson Street. We welcome people that are online right now. And we also welcome people who may be watching this on our YouTube channel at a later time. So today, we're into April, and April's power is the power of love, which is the ability to attract, desire, and unify. And the location, of course, is in our heart, and the color is pink. So today, let's just affirm, I am a radiating center of love. Together, I am a radiating center of love. And so as I said, we welcome everyone. And we remind those that are at 501 Nelson Street in person to check with Facebook with your cell phone to let other people know where you are, and then to please mute your phone so that you're not interrupted during the service. So I am just going to mute my phone right now too. So at Unity, we have a vision. And our vision, let's repeat this together as well, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And of course, that is a vision for a lot of Unity spiritual centers. So along with that, we also have a mission, which is co-creating with Spirit to transform lives through shared spiritual awakening. So what does that mean? How can we do that? And really, what does that mean? So it means that we are all one. And so as we open ourselves to other people, we can be a loving, inclusive, supportive community, because it's only our egos, beliefs, and fears that separate us. So we can be together. We can be all one. We can be love. We also can fulfill our mission by promoting self-expression. And that is self-love. That is our highest and best self, which is love, reaching out to each other, reaching out to the world, self-expression. So we can also live the 5 principles that Unity promotes, and that is God is. There is only one power, one presence in the world, God the good omnipotent. And I am part of that God. There is a small spark of that divinity within me. And together, God, divine spirit, whatever you would like to refer to that higher power as, together with that higher power, we create the lives that we want to live. Co-create the lives. And so we also pray. That is how we connect with that divine spirit within. We pray and we meditate and we listen, because often we will receive messages that are of the highest, for the highest and best good for us. And sometimes we listen and sometimes we may not. And then, of course, it's not just enough to know these principles, but we need to live them. Be the love of the world, be the light of the world. And we also want to inspire people to make a positive difference in the world, however that may be. It doesn't need to be a huge, huge thing. It can be as simple as a smile, or it can be a huge, huge thing. If you want to take on a really big project that you're passionate about for people or for animals or for situations or for world peace or for ending hunger in the world, we can all do that, and we can be the change. And of course, we also want to provide fellowship and education for spiritual seekers of all walks of life. All that is required is that you show up in some form, online or in person, and that you be open to what you may need or want to hear. Wherever you come from, you are welcome. Oh, so this morning we have some special announcements. So, okay. So the 2024 condo lottery is now on. And of course, you've heard this last week that it is for 1 week at Grand Bend on a riverfront condo. And of course, Grand Bend's a lovely town, about an hour north of London, Ontario. And so this is a 3-bedroom, 4-bath condo. So you can bring your friends. There's a parking spot. You also have the use of 2 kayaks if you'd like to do that. There's a full kitchen and laundry. Goodness knows if you want to do your laundry. And the important thing to know is that the draw date is May the 5th. So that's going to be coming up in just a few weeks. So please make sure that you've got your tickets if you're selling tickets. And make sure that you're buying your tickets. So yeah, we're excited about this condo lottery. Okay, and this is the second week, I believe, that meditation before our service has returned. So for many, many years, we did meditation at 10 o'clock. And when we were offline for a couple of years or not in person, then we were not able to do that. So now that's been reintroduced. So if you'd like to show up earlier, then there is the children's room, which is back by the prayer room at Unity of London. And you can join for prayer and meditation from 10 to 10:20. So I used to lead that meditation from time to time, and it's just a wonderful experience. So I encourage you to take advantage of that meditation. Of course, we've been hearing rave reviews about our Wednesday night music nights, and Jim Chapman is organizing those. So we're just really grateful for Jim for doing that. And my goodness, I've heard that they are so successful. I live quite a ways away, so I haven't been able to make them in person, but hopefully I will at some point. So now Jim is doing a musical feature every Wednesday night from 8 to 9:30. So if you can't come this Wednesday, then come next Wednesday. And on April 17th, we've got the original Stetson Brothers Band. So you can e-transfer $10 to Jim Chapman at rogers.com, or you can pay for cash at the door. So please come out and just have a fun time and support Jim and all these wonderful musicians. So this is something that we have not had in a long time, our Unity Basics course. So this is open for everyone that is associated with Unity, but it is especially focused on people who do not have a long-term or even much of a short-term Unity background. And so, I don't know, we're looking at titles, Veggies and Values, or Pizza and Principles, which is what most of us know this as. And so we are having the next one on Sunday, April the 28th, from 11:45 to 1:55. And Pauline Duncan-Thrasher, our licensed Unity teacher, and is leading that. And so this is a requirement for membership. So we want people that are at Unity to be able to really understand the background of what Unity is all about. So we will be covering the key aspects of Unity and its goals, the history, beliefs, educational activities, and basic Unity teachings about all sorts of different things, including God, Jesus, and consciousness, the Bible, heaven and hell, that's a big one, sin and other paths. So please sign up. I'm going to make the assumption that there is a sign-up sheet available, probably in either the back of the sanctuary or in the fellowship room. So please sign up so that materials and food can be prepared. I really encourage everyone that is interested to come out for this, whether you are new to Unity or whether you've been around for a long time. And of course, we have our Unity of London Fish group. Fish stands for Fellowship, Imagination, Sharing, and Happiness. So you don't have to bring your fishing pole or your lines or anything like that. You can just show up, art and friendship. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be making affirmation towels. So I think that sounds like fun. And so sandwiches will also be available for the fish group. Now, it does coincide as well with the Veggies and Values, Pizza and Principles. So you may have to make a choice on which one you'd like to attend, but please support them both to the best of your ability. And today is Celebration Sunday. So just think about all the great things that you are celebrating in your life. So that'll happen at the end of the service. And so today, of course, you are welcome to pray with a prayer chaplain. So Pauline is our prayer chaplain today. So she will be in the prayer room at the back of the fellowship room. And I, of course, will be here online. So if you would like to pray, please just send me a chat in the chat message, and I will hang around a little bit later and let Lorraine know not to cut us off. More music by Jim.
I was looking for somebody in particular, but I see that she's here. I looked before and she wasn't, and I thought, oh, there you go. All right. She knows who she is because I told her that last week that I would have something very special this week for her, because this was inspired by Sylvia. And so here it is. For what it's worth, here it is. Try every day to be the best I can. Being a good man's an uphill fight. Carried a heavy load to the fork in the road, but sometimes I just couldn't pick left or right. More good than bad, and it makes me sad when sometimes I feel just like a fool. It doesn't make much sense. My only defense, I must have missed that day in school. So I remind myself when I'm confused, I must have missed that day in school. I just have missed that day in school. I'm a lucky guy in so many ways. Things are only small, it's true. Maybe I'm slow, I don't know, but I often wonder what to do. But I do my best to own my mess, and I'm nobody's fool. I don't need a defense, I'm not really dense, I just missed that day in school. Most things right, but a few things wrong. Sometimes weak when I should be strong. So I remind myself when I'm confused, I must have missed that day in school. I just missed that day in school. Yeah, clap along. But every morning is a fresh new start, and I'm a learning every day. I know I got a good soul and I got a good heart, and I know I'm on my way. I won't give up and I won't give in to myself. I won't be cruel. My heart knows the difference from right from wrong, and you don't learn that in school. Most things are right, but a few things wrong. Sometimes weak when I should be strong. Remind myself when I'm confused, I must have missed that day in school. Yeah, I must have missed that day in school. I get most things right, but a few things wrong. Sometimes weak when I should be strong. Remind myself when I'm confused, I must have missed that day in school. I just missed that day in school. Like Cynthia said, must have missed that day in school. Thank you, Sylvia. You take inspiration wherever you can find it.
Well, Jim, all I can say is you obviously got to school for a lot of things, because you just bring joy and happiness and brightness to our lives. So thank you so much for that song. Thank you. So as most of you know, Unity was formed on prayer. And so for over 130 years, Silent Unity has been praying with and for people. And if you haven't had the chance to call Silent Unity, please do. They are available to pray with people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And when you call, you will receive a wonderful, loving voice at the end of that phone. So please take advantage of that. And also at 501 Nelson Street, we have our prayer box at the front of the sanctuary. So for any of you that are there and you are concerned about a person, please just write their name on the little slip of paper that is there and put it in the prayer box. And the prayer angels and prayer chaplains will pray over those for 30 days, and then the names will be sent to Unity Worldwide for further prayer. So please take advantage of that. And so now we will go into prayer. So if you like, just please settle into your seat wherever you are. Just close your eyes if you wish. Let's just take a deep breath and just relax. Grateful for being where we are. And so as we come together this morning, we are grateful for the opportunity to spend this time with our Unity community. We bless everyone attending all spiritual gatherings, knowing that there are many paths to that one God. We bless those watching online, those at home, and those who will watch later, as well, of course, as the people who are listening to this prayer live right now. So we call forth that divine power of love within each and every one of you, knowing that we have all of the love we need in the world to accomplish all that is ours to do. Let's just feel that pink radiating light in our bodies now. Let's just envision that light expanding outside of our bodies, next to the person beside us, into the room that we are in, out into the world. We pray, trusting that everyone is feeling that divine love right now. And with that love, may they feel peace. May they experience peace. May we experience peace. So we especially hold all of the places in the world where peace is not the norm right now, where there are challenges, where there are bombs being dropped, where there may be a shortage of food, where it may be difficult to feel peace. But we pray that as you focus on the love in your heart, that you also may feel the peace, that there may be calmness within you. And as you feel that peace and that love radiating out from you, we affirm peace for everyone and for the whole world. And so we lift up anyone who is experiencing any challenges, trusting that the highest and best is unfolding for them right now, and that the love of the divine spirit is surrounding them. We take this opportunity to hold anyone that you wish in blessings and prayer and to speak their names quietly into this space now. We bless our fellow Unity churches, Unity of London and Unity of New Westminster. And so as we move forth into the day, we understand and affirm that we are one with all that is. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And so today we welcome our platform assistant, Nancy Youngston, for the reading of the daily word and the introduction of our speaker today.
Healing. God's healing power is moving through me. I am open and receptive in God's healing power within me and within my dear ones. I trust with absolute faith that God is greater than any worldly condition. I cannot limit God. I listen to the still, small voice within and feel guided along my healing journey. If fear and worry get the better of me and I start to feel anxious, I call forth the healing power of the indwelling Christ. I spiritually surrender my concerns. When I pray for my dear ones, I do not focus on their condition. Rather, I see them as the divine beings they are, whole, prosperous, and spiritually perfect. As I pray, I perceive God's healing presence moving through me and my beloveds. This presence is the health beyond the illness, the abundance beyond the insufficiency, and the life beyond death. It is the truth of my life. From Isaiah 58, verse 8, your healing shall spring up quickly. Today's speakers, no stranger, Pauline Duncan-Thrasher, has been an active member of Unity, an active Unity prayer chaplain since soon after joining Unity in 2012. She's a past director of the board for Unity, and Pauline has completed Unity's spiritual education enrichment programs, as well as now she is a licensed Unity teacher. Just so you know, Pauline was a teacher and she retired, but now she's a licensed Unity teacher, only we're a lot older than her students. So we are really happy to welcome Pauline Duncan-Thrasher and her message today on love.
Thank you very much, Nancy. What a joy to see you at Unity of London, 501 Nelson Street, in person, and anybody who may be watching online. I have to tell you that this message, for me, was in some ways a little bit different this year. I looked at some of my notes from last year and I thought, they were mostly quotations. And how do I stand up and talk about love and act as though I know all about it? I don't. So I come to this message from a place of humility that I didn't have last year. And that's partly because I've met so many people in the past year who were so loving, including Jim Chapman and Carlin, who give so generously. And I think, wow. And if you look around at each other, you don't have to stand up and face the back this week. Just look around at each other. You'll see loving people who could as easily be standing up here sharing the message of love and doing it with authenticity. So I will be sharing in a few minutes some gifts that people in this room have provided to me. But first, how shall we love or not? Lucy drapes herself over Schroeder's piano and says in her most languid voice, "Guess what, Schroeder? If you don't stop playing that piano right now and show me that you love me, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold my breath until I die." Schroeder looks up from his piano playing. Breath holding in children is an interesting phenomenon. It could indicate a metabolic disorder. A 40 milligram dose of vitamin B6 twice a day might be helpful. I think that's probably it. You need vitamin B6. You might also consider eating more bananas, avocados, and beef liver. I ask for love and you give me beef liver? In my life, I've taken on the roles of both Schroeder and Lucy. How about you? Schroeder so immersed in his piano playing that there is no space in his life whatsoever for distractions. I remember when I was teaching and coming home with pages and pages to mark. And Dan would say, this was once I married Dan, "Where's my wife?" Then when I wrote my first book and be in the office, so immersed, and I would hear this pitiful voice, "Where is my wife?" Now I could say the same thing to Dan, because he's down in the basement in his workshop. I'm up in the office. Sometimes this happens in our lives, where it's almost as though we have blinkers on. Or on the other hand, we can be so needy and so greedy for love that we don't think about the other person and their needs. Just something to consider. And before I go to that, well, I better go to the cypress trees. They're more conducive to the next message. I didn't do much writing on these slides, and it's different for me. But there is a quotation from 1 Corinthians, because this message is about how shall we show love and how shall we not. If I speak, and as a speaker I'm so aware of this quotation, if I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I'm only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. Ah. Thank you, Nancy. And if we're tuned in, if we tune in, we can know when we're not in love. We hear that little, it might not be quite so loud in our head, but we hear it. We know it, don't we? We know when we make it all about ourselves. The cypress tree, I put down, because it shows resilience. And many years ago when I just completed teaching one session of personal possibilities, a young couple who were going to get married approached me, and to my amazement, and said, "Would you give a message at our wedding? It's going to be in Toronto." I'd never been asked to do that. Boggled my mind, so I immediately started to research and found how resilient cypress trees are. Now today, with climate change, some of them are dying, but they are known to be resilient. And they also stand for many, they symbolize many aspects of life and death. but in many cultures they represent eternal life. What a fitting symbol for love. May it be eternal, may it be resilient. And if you're married or in your relationship, you know that it's not always idyllic. There are ups and downs. And with the cypress tree, the winds blow it this way and this way and this way, and it manages to stand firm. As someone recently showed so beautifully, staying balanced in the midst of chaos. When we show love, we figure out how we can stay balanced in the midst of chaos. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It's not proud. It's not rude. It's not self-seeking. It's not easily angered. Keeps no records of wrongs. Oh, boy. That, I don't know about you, that makes me feel so guilty, I think. Check mark, check mark, check mark. Love always protects. Think of the people you love. Think of mothers and babies. And you might not have been a birth mother, but you might have been around children. As a teacher, as a counselor, as an aunt or uncle. And showing love for children is maybe the purest way you can show love. Because you're not asking for anything back. You're there as a protector. Love always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Of faith, hope, and love, what is the greatest? You could answer now. Love. Love is the greatest. Sometimes we think only babies need a helping hand. So a tiny hand in a big hand. But think of your relationships. Perhaps there is someone in your life who gives you a hand. And in that moment, they are stronger. They're showing love. Are you able to receive it? Or maybe you are the one being strong. Love operates in both ways. And with children, it's maybe easier just to laugh and talk, to connect, to share items without outcomes, without worry. And each of us has a child within. Can we return to that child within and show love as children show love? Just to relax together. I'm guessing it's hot chocolate in that mug, but it could be coffee, tea. Just to sit back, to laugh, to relax, to be at one with that person. And the laughing together doesn't have to stop at a certain age. We know that. We can laugh, we can share, we can smile. Being together with those little jokes that only the partner gets. And sometimes us giving jokes, and they're not even jokes, and our partner will laugh just because they love us. Our furry friends, I had to include the young spirit of Chipper in the center. Chipper just turned 13, and I couldn't find any pictures that I was able to move over. Chipper's usually sleeping, but I added the cat. I'm so glad because Frank's here, and I know Dawn has a cat. And Kate loves her cats. Who has a cat here? Just, I won't ask you to do anything, just, we can connect with furry friends in ways that sometimes are missing with people. Why is that? Or is that just our story? Is it just our story that it's only four-legged, furry friends who give us unconditional love? We have to watch our stories. We talked about that yesterday a lot in our board training. It may seem as though our pets only give us unconditional love, but I know Chipper's way more excited to be around me when I'm in the kitchen. And maybe Dan is too, but the unconditional love is something that I wanted to address today. And just to share with you a couple of gifts that I've received. The first, well, not the first, but the person who gave me this gave it to me as a tiny little plant, and it's called mother-in-law tongue. I have no idea why. Now, I loved my mother-in-law, and she just died. She was going to be 102 in September, and I've been asked to speak at the graveyard service in Comox in May. It's a great honor, and I think of her with so much love. And I think of the person who gave this to me, who's in this room, and I won't name, but knows who they are, that you gave me the opportunity to love without condition. That's a gift. If you have someone in your life that you love, and it's truly without condition, it doesn't matter what that person's doing or how they're acting, you just love them, period. Recognize that that person has given you a wondrous gift, a beautiful gift. I'll put this here just so you can think about it. I'm not giving it to Unity, by the way. It's just there for now. Because every time I look at it, I think of the person. And I was so hoping, but I don't think she's here. I was so hoping Paula would be here. Because Paula knew that I loved horses. And this was a treasure for her. Can you tell it's a horse? It's a lovely metal horse. And she gave it to me even though it meant a lot to her. I'm not suggesting that love is only gifts like that. It's also memories. I have this picture in my office, and it's a picture of Rev Lori and me. Rev Lori was my first Unity mentor, and I share my most beloved mentor because she believed in me before I believed in myself as a speaker at Unity. And the message I'm taught says, stop holding your breath and start living your life. Each moment of love, each moment of giving, each moment of joy is a moment of living. And I don't know if Rev Lori wrote that, but it's under the title is The Trance of Scarcity. And if you ever are enveloped in a trance of scarcity, it's almost that belief that nobody loves me right now. I'm not giving anything to the world. What does my life mean? And if that happens, just stop and pause and say, I am capable of receiving love and giving love. Again, I'm not giving it for keeps, but just there in case you want to take a look at it. And finally, a little plaque. And the first person who comes up to me and asks for this following the service, I will give this to. Because I have so many plaques in my office, I'm running out of wall space. And it just says, those who love passionately teach us how to live. Those who love passionately teach us how to live. Would you rather be a teacher or a student? Sometimes we just go twirling around. I saw this and I wasn't sure. Is it people having fun, or is it people searching for ways to be loving? For ways to receive love without acting soppy about it. For ways to find love and still be themselves. And when we hold hands together, our strength becomes stronger. When we love together, our love becomes stronger. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt, I'm not strong enough to deal with this situation? And somebody that you knew was strong enough. Or sometimes at school, if we wanted to lift someone up, we cross arms. I tried to stand near the person with the biggest arms, naturally. And you just hold arms together and you make a little seat and you can lift someone up with love. How many times have you done that? How many times could you do it? How many times do we do it here at Unity of London? Now, Jesus really knew the secret of unconditional love. Our way shower. It was true unconditional love. He didn't care if people were ragged, dirty, hungry, different from him. The little guy up in the tree that everybody hated who was trying to peek at Jesus. The sycamore tree, Zacchaeus. I sang that song once, I won't sing it now because we're getting out of time. He loved them all. Are we selective in who we choose to show love to? And I don't mean you go out and have an affair. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't know why that popped into my head, but there are so many different kinds of love. So I don't know why I said that. There's platonic love. There's love for children, love between children, love for a senior and a child, love between friends. Sometimes love between bosses and coworkers. And I came up with an acronym because I love acronyms, and I thought, what could I share that they will remember, that you will remember? Also that I would remember. As some of you know, I love to send cards and letters, and I usually start DEAR, D-E-A-R. And my printer's almost out of ink, so if you saw me passing out papers to a few people, that's what the acronym is. And this is my thought today, in 2024, of how we can share love. The D stands for be direct. That's very hard for me sometimes because fear gets in the way. I'm afraid if I'm direct, the person might not like me. Or I'm afraid I might hurt their feelings. That's my story. And I want to get rid of it. It's not my story and I'm sticking by it. Which sometimes we do. So being direct may be hard, it may be difficult, it may cause fear, but it is a way to show love. The E stands for encouraging enthusiasm. Now, my husband, Dan, loves guitars. And he loves anything to do with building. and cars. He's often watching TV shows about cars or tools or building. And sometimes I want to go, oh. But I try and act enthusiastic because it's exciting for him. It doesn't mean that I always stay and act enthusiastic. Sometimes I go into my office and read a book. But encouraging someone's enthusiasm is a wondrous way of showing love. That we're saying to that person, I see that this excites you, and I'm glad that you have something in your life that excites you. I celebrate your excitement. The A is for adapting. Within this room, there are many personalities. We're not all the same. We're all people. We all have souls. We all have the Spirit of God within. But we're different. And I love Jim's song that he dedicated to Sophie. I must have missed that day at school. Because for a long time, maybe all of you, maybe many of us have thought, ooh, I'm not like everybody else. In ways, we are like everybody else. We have fears, we have anxieties, we have stressors, but we also have successes and challenges and joys. And recognizing that, and recognizing that someone may be more outspoken than you, and you may be the quiet person, and figuring out a way to adapt to one style or the other is a great sign of love. Adapting, not conforming. It's different. And the R is respect. We just show respect to people. Not just. It's a big one. Do we respect someone because they have nice clothes? Go back to Jesus the way shore. Do we respect someone because they've got a big house and lots of money? Go back to Jesus the way shore. Do we respect someone just because they live in a teeny little house? We respect people because they're people, because they each have the essence of God within, not because of what they have. Jesus acted as a servant. He didn't mind washing feet. And when he did, his apostles got quite perturbed. What are you doing? You're not supposed to wash our feet. I think it was Peter who said that. And it was interesting in this picture that someone has a cell phone. And kind of appalling. Mother Teresa, one of my favorite messengers, said this: God has created us so that we do small things with great love. I believe that this great love that comes from our hearts should start at home with my family, my neighborhood, my neighbors across the street, and that love should reach everyone. I will never tire of repeating this. What the poor needs the most is not pity, but love. They need to feel respect for their human dignity, which is neither less nor different for the dignity of any other human beings. We as members of Unity have such opportunities. We are gifted with the chance to show love, to be loved, to receive love, and to give love. And if you take anything away today, think of all these people and think of us when we gather in our circle of love. We are the emissaries of love. Pure and simple. We don't need organs. We don't need great big flamboyant churches to be love. We just need to be who we are. Emissaries of love. With that, let us go into meditation. as we breathe in love, we relax into our chairs, feel our feet grounded, open our arms if you wish, or open our hands, if that symbolizes for you the absorbing of love from this room, from your family, from your friends. You absorb it into your body now. That love flows through you like a wondrous golden stream. A stream that warms you when you feel cold. That touches you when you feel fearful. That comforts you when you feel alone. That golden stream of love flowing through you. That gives you strength to not only receive love, but to give love. We take a few moments now, very few moments of meditation, absorbing love, breathing it in, and breathing out that same love. For this and for all that we are, all that we can be, we say amen.
So, dear Pauline, and I say that with all of the new heartfelt words that you defined in your talk. Direct, encouraging, enthusiasm, adapting, respect. Thank you. Thank you for that talk today. You are most definitely an emissary of love, and we are so grateful to have you at Unity of London. Thank you. And now we're going to hear back from Jim.
As usual, when I come up here after the message, and it doesn't seem to matter who the message is from, or who delivers the message, I'm always energized. I'm always pumped up. I always feel better about who I am and about why I'm here. And today is absolutely no exception to that at all. Pauline, let me know what the, so I guess I should be talking to this. Pauline let me know what the topic of her talk would be today, and I knew that the words that she sent me would just be a tiny bit of what she was actually going to share, and what I is just so on the money. You're always so darn on the money, Pauline. For heaven's sakes. Anyway, I thought I'd look for a song that might work with what Pauline would say in a general sense, and in a general sense, yeah, it'll work. But it's at the end when you talked about us being emissaries, that is exactly what this song is about. So I invite you to join along. You know the song, you'll know the words when we get to the chorus. Just jump right in. And it is about all of us acting as emissaries, of finding the love within and sharing it with the world without. of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. See, it's getting late, no, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Oh, put a little love in your heart. Everybody sing now. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. The world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and say, oh, put a little love in your heart. 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 Take a good look around, and if you're feeling down, put a little love in your heart. When you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. The world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and say, oh, put a little love in your heart. 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 Let's do it now. Here we go. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah. Put a little love in your heart. Oh, put a little love in your heart. Everybody will put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart, oh yeah. Put a little love in your heart for everybody now. Put a little love in your heart. We'll all end the stories. Put a little love in your heart. Now there's a message we can take away with us.
Oh, well, thank you, Jim, for that rousing version of Put a Little Love in Your Heart. I mean, if anyone does not feel uplifted by that, I don't know, there's big issues for them. So thank you again. So right now, we are grateful for the people who continue to support Unity of London. So we're thanking all of you who share your times, talents, and treasures with us. And right now, we're thankful for the people in this building who are giving their donations today. But those of us know that there are a lot that give during the week, know that there are lots of ways that we can give by check or by credit card or debit or using the Tithely site or by e-transfer at unityoflondon@hotmail.com. So we appreciate those offerings and everything that you contribute to Unity of London to make it the thriving, prosperous, loving place that it is. And so here comes these lovely women that have just collected our offerings. So thank you very much, Kate and Renee. And so if you'd like to repeat the prosperity blessing with me, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And we're going to repeat, of course, our prayer for protection. So with me, let's say, the light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. And so if you'd like to join together and we'll sing our peace song. Okay, so today is Celebration Sunday, so if anyone would like to come up to the front of the sanctuary and let us know what you are celebrating this week, and or to give some thanks to Pauline for her wonderful talk today, that would be great. So Nancy.
Hello? Oh, it works. Okay. Yes, it was really wonderful, Pauline. That's great. And Jim, the music just fit perfect. So thank you. I'm thankful because, I see us as developing a real community, and the solstice was pretty special.